nice and safe, affordable too. Makes a lot of me and you. Habitat for Humanity in our community.
Now, it all started 29 years ago. 29 years ago, a couple friends were talking about community. Now, they didn't exactly live in a community. They lived in a neighborhood with their wives and their children and a dog. And living in a neighborhood like that, well, they had a lot of room. They had room for a yard where the kids could play and such and raise that dog. And they started wondering why everybody didn't have a yard. Well, I got to know those two friends, and we thought it'd be neighborly if we went to the city and found out why everybody didn't have a yard. And so we loaded up the pickup truck, and we thought we might need some tools, so we added some shovels and some rakes and tools of construction, and we headed off into the city. That's what we did. And lo and behold, when we got to that city, we found out that there were all kinds of families. There were some families with moms and dads and kids, and some with just one parent and kids, and some with 3 generations with grandma leading the whole band. But you know, some of those families didn't have a yard. In fact, some of those families didn't even have a decent place to stay. Some had no place to lay their heads at all. And we said, that ain't right. This must be a place to build our community. You remember, we were singing a song about our community. And so we started hammering, and we hammered 2x4s and 2x6s and 2x8s and 2x10s, and we started putting up walls, and we left out places for the windows and the doors, and we left place for the electricity and the heating and the air conditioning. We even left a place for indoor plumbing. We did. And then we put on siding and put up trusses and put on a roof. We were volunteering. It was the first time a house had been built in Charlotte. Nobody got paid for it. And so after we finished nailing those 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x8s, and 2x10s and putting in electricity and heating and air conditioning and indoor plumbing and putting on siding and putting up roof trusses and putting on a roof, we sold that house to a family at no profit. That's what we did. But that family couldn't afford to buy the house. Even though mom and dad both had jobs, they couldn't afford it, so we gave them a mortgage. Now, a mortgage is a loan you get when you need to buy a house, but they couldn't afford to pay the interest either, so we didn't charge them any. And we thought that was a good idea. And we realized that the more we volunteered and built houses and sold them at no profit to working folk who needed them and gave them mortgages with no interest, well, that was a good way to build our community. You remember, we were singing a song about our community. Now, these folks that get these houses and mortgages, now they help other folks. Each partner family does 250 hours of sweat equity. Now, we call it sweat equity because when they're building on other people's houses, that's what they do, they sweat. And so we built more and more houses, and we decided we needed a catchy name for this enterprise. And so we called it Habitat for Humanity. Now, we would have called this song Our Habitat, except nothing rhymes with habitat. You can look it up in a rhyming dictionary. We did. No matches. And now the President of the United States found out about what we were doing at Habitat, and he was mighty impressed. Unfortunately, the people weren't too impressed with him because they didn't re-elect him. But that sort of worked out okay because he started working with us at Habitat for Humanity. And after a while, you know what? People started liking him again and saying, hey, he's a pretty good guy because he's working without getting paid for it, building houses for people who need them. So it seems to me if you want a shot at people saying, hey, he's a pretty good guy, then you ought to build houses without getting paid. Work at Habitat for Humanity rather than being a politician and making whatever it is politicians make. But that's not what we came to talk to you about. What we came to talk to you about is affordable housing, because in Charlotte, the average 2-bedroom apartment rents for over $800 a month. $800 a month. Now, I don't have to tell you that ain't cheap. In fact, almost half the working families in Charlotte can't afford $800 a month. We need all kinds of affordable housing. We need emergency housing for homeless folk. We need rental housing for folks who are not ready to own. And we need ownership housing like Habitat for Humanity. In a place where a 2-bedroom apartment is $800 a month, the average mortgage on a 3-bedroom house from Habitat, where the owner owns the land, is less than $600 a month. But we can't do all that without you. We need help. We need help buying land and building houses and helping these hard-working families. We need the city to keep supporting affordable housing. We need faith communities to give us money and volunteers. And we need our business community to keep funding the basic need of shelter. We need all of that to give these families a hand up and not a hand out. And that's how we build our community. You remember we were singing a song about our community. Now, I'm telling you this for one reason only. Some of you might be in a situation like this. Or you might know somebody in a situation like this who needs a home. Certainly our community's in a situation like this. And what we want you to do is walk into City Hall or your church or your place of business and sing Habitat for Humanity in our community and walk out. Now, if one of you do that, well, they're probably going to think you're a little crazy and they may call the authorities. But if 2 of you do that and sing in harmony and then walk out, well, they may think you're social agitators and they probably won't listen to you. But if 3 of you do that, go in, sing a bar of our community, and walk out. Now, friends, they may think that's an organization. But if everybody here, if 50 people at one time walk in, sing in 4-part harmony, a bar of our community, and then walk out, why, friends, they're going to think that's a movement.
And that's what this is, a movement. It's the Habitat for Humanity community movement. If you care and you want to make it happen, help sing this song with us. Here we go again.
Habitat for Humanity in our community. Habitat for Humanity in our community. Decent, safe, affordable too. Makes life better for me and you. Habitat for Humanity in our community.
Well, I can only hear these people up here on the stage with me. I can't hear anybody out there. Well, if you want to end poverty and homelessness, make Habitat work, sing at the top of your voice. Here we go again, coming around again. Habitat for Humanity in our community. Habitat for Humanity in our community. Decent, safe, affordable too. Makes life better for me and you. Habitat for Humanity in our community. Habitat for Humanity in our community. Habitat for Humanity in our community. Decent, safe, affordable too. Makes life better for me and you. Habitat for Humanity in our community.
All right, thank you very much.